Navy Petty Officer First Class, Christian Saucier was sentenced to a year in prison for taking photos of classified workings of a nuclear submarine.
Although he accepted responsibility for what he did, his defense and family wondered why Hillary Clinton wasn't held to the same standards for mishandling classified information on her devices and her private email server.
Well, joining us now is Christian Saucier's mother, Kathleen. Good morning, and thank you for being with us on Fox & Friends Weekend.
Good morning, and thank you for having me on.
Now, you say that it's not so much about your son's punishment, but more about the double standard between what happened to him and what happened to Hillary Clinton. What do you mean?
Right. First, let me clarify. On the lead-in to the story, they stated that my son had transmitted a photo. There is no evidence whatsoever, and that was clearly stated by the judge, that any photos were ever transmitted off of his phone. So what I mean basically is that we recognize the fact my son has been charged with a crime, that he's been sentenced to that. We accept the fact that he has a sentence of a year in federal prison as well as probation and electronic monitoring following that. What we do not accept, what I do not accept, what I'm screaming loudly about, and I'm grateful people are listening, is to the fact that Hillary Clinton is not held to the same standard. Over and over, evidence has come forward. People have stated that there is a clear, obvious situations where evidence has been destroyed on her part or the part of her staff, right. And there is no accountability. To me, I don't understand how people can't see the clear double standard.
Well, of course there is one, and it's not like your son put the photo on an unsecured server so Chinese intelligence could steal it.
Correct.
How does it make you feel when Hillary not only gets away with doing something your son would be doing 20 years for had he done, but that she complains that she's the victim of the double standard? Listen to this. This is from July. Watch.
I often feel like there's the Hillary standard, and then there's the standard for everybody else.
What's the Hillary standard?
Well, it is, you know, a lot of, as you saw at the Republican convention, unfounded, inaccurate, mean-spirited attacks with no basis in truth, reality.
Yeah, so the most powerful woman in the world is a victim of bias. How does that make you feel?
Honestly, it disgusts me, because I look at it from the point of view that over and over, as I mentioned, evidence has come forward that she has clearly violated what is expected of her as the Secretary of State as well as a future potential President of the United States, and she's not held to that same standard.
So what do you think about the integrity of the FBI investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email server?
Again, I feel it's a double standard. I feel that what we went through, my family, my son has gone through for the past 7 years. This happened when my son was 22 years old, when there was not a cell phone ban on submarines, and he and many others, which has been in the press, took photos during that time. I feel there is a double standard, and it disgusts me that as American citizens, we're held to a different standard that our politicians are and our people in office that are supposed to be standing up and fighting for our rights.
Yeah, it's depressing for those of us like you and me who grew up in this country thinking justice was blind to learn that it's not at all. Kathleen, thanks a lot for coming on this morning. I'm really sorry about what's happened to your son.
Thank you so much. I hope we can continue to stand up for what's right for us as Americans, and a standard for all of us, not just the elite.
Amen.
We know this has been tough for your family. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.